Hello everyone and welcome to the video. For this video, I'll be going over every Stranger Things filming location that will or will not be demolished and is currently scheduled for demolition that I have recently heard about. The purpose of this video is basically to show you all the locations that aren't going to be demolished anytime soon that you can still visit, because I know with Hawkins High School and Hawkins Lab being demolished, that's like the two main iconic locations, and probably the ones that people would want to see the most. If you're thinking that going to see the other locations is not worth it just because those two aren't there, in my opinion, I think you're totally wrong. There's a lot of locations that people forget about, and even the other ones that aren't going to be demolished that aren't Hawkins Lab or Hawkins High School or the cool ones like that, every other filming location is still really cool to see and still a really great experience. And there's going to be new ones for season 5. So just because the two main ones are going to be gone doesn't mean you shouldn't go look. There are lots of really cool locations to still visit that aren't going to be gone anytime soon, if ever. So I'm going to go through all those now. So we'll start off with the locations that are already demolished and scheduled for demolition, and what I would consider endangered for demolition. Like, nothing's been confirmed yet, but I wouldn't be surprised that if they do end up getting demolished. So we'll go and start with that. So first one, as many of you know, Hawkins High School has already been fully demolished and to make way for a brand new school that is being built in the same spot. That one had been scheduled for demolition after filming, so it's no surprise that it was already gone, and it was looking pretty rough anyway, had asbestos, all that stuff. And next, as you recently saw in my recent upload, the Hawkins Lab filming location demolition just began like last week, not too long ago. And as I've been talking to people about it, I'm not actually 100% sure if they're going to do an implosion. I think so. Either they will do an implosion after they clear out the inside and all that, and it'll all come down like right away, obviously, because it's literally blowing up the building. Or they're going to tear it down manually, because there are residential areas that are nearby that building, and maybe an implosion would be too much. I don't know. I'd be awfully surprised if they didn't do an implosion, because that's a really old building, and it is built out of like really solid material, like lots of concrete, old structures that would be awfully hard for equipment to tear down, but I'm sure there's equipment out there that could definitely do it. It would just take forever. So if that's the case, it might be around for a while longer and it'll slowly just come apart. I don't know. I still think they'll implode it, but I could be wrong. If I do get confirmation on if it will or will not be imploded, I'll definitely let you guys know. Next on the list is another sad one, and unfortunately this is one that I did not get to see in my October trip there, because I only had 3 days and all the locations are so spread out that visiting all of them was just impossible to do in that short amount of time, because they are literally just so far apart. You go to one, and if you want to spend a decent amount of time at one, say you're there for several minutes and then it's an hour drive to the other one or a 45-minute drive to the other one, it literally is just driving all day. It takes several days. No way you knock it out in a few days unless you start at the crack of dawn and go till like midnight or later. Next one is the Starcourt Mall filming location. I have heard that it is scheduled for demolition because that obviously was a real functioning mall, and it has been closed for a while, and it's not in the greatest condition either, and I don't see anything reopening there or it being reused or remodeled. I've heard that they'll probably just go ahead and tear that place down. That doesn't surprise me, unfortunately. I'm hoping that it won't happen within the next year, so if I do go back after season 5 comes out, I can see that place, because even though it's just that old mall in that one area, I'd still love to see that one. So yeah, that one's possibly scheduled for demolition. Not 100% sure, but pretty sure. The next location that I personally consider endangered, I haven't heard anything at all about demolition on this place at all, but it's so run down and in such bad shape, I won't be surprised if they do it. I would expect that either they'll fix it up and turn it into something else. I don't know. I really haven't heard much about this one, but that is the arcade and family video location, another one that I unfortunately didn't get to see. I've seen some recent YouTube videos of people visiting there, and it's also pretty run down, and literally it's almost like it's gutted on the inside. Like, there is literally nothing left over. So that one's not all that exciting. Still cool to see if you're a fan, and it still has some of the color and stuff. It's looking pretty rough. Next up is the season 5 radio station. Now, this is a This was a brand new set for season 5 only, and I hear it's going to play a big part in season 5. Not everybody knew about it, and there's not very many YouTube videos of people visiting that location because, one, not very many people knew about it other than the locals and me, and some others as well. Not very many at all though. And they built that just for filming, and then they tore it down literally immediately after filming was wrapped up. So that one was demolished right after filming. But I did make a video there, and if you haven't seen that, I definitely recommend checking it out. I did get pretty close, and it's a pretty cool spot too. The next one that I kind of consider endangered for demolition is the season 5 Hawkins Memorial Hospital location. This one I am not sure about at all, but I don't know. I just assume that all of them are going to be taken down now since the show's going to be over. But it's not the Hawkins Hospital that was in season 2 or season 3. The one that they used for season 5 is actually a brand new film set in a separate town outside of Atlanta. And there's been a few people that have made videos there. Fortunately, that's another one I did not get to see. That building is actually in fine condition from what I've seen. Like, it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it, but I do know that it did used to be a small hospital or some type of medical facility that I think recently shut down, and obviously Stranger Things used it for season 5. The videos that I've seen on that are really, really cool, and I can't wait to see what goes down in season 5 at that location, because the videos that I have seen on YouTube are insane. It showed a lot of what happened, and yeah, that one's going to be a cool one, and I hope I get to see that one at some point too. But since it's basically vacant now and not really used for anything, I worry that demolition could be possible, even though the building's not that bad a condition. Maybe not. I hope I'm wrong. I probably am, but you just never know. You just never really know. That one might be in the clear. So I think that's all of the locations that have been or will be demolished or are possibly endangered for demolition. So we'll go ahead and move on to all of the filming locations that are safe as of right now and probably will not be, or for sure will not be, demolished anytime soon whatsoever. Start off with all of the season 4 locations that are set in California, like the Byers house in California, that skating rink, the other high school. Those are actually all located in New Mexico, but they say it's California in the show. I think the Byers house there might... I know it was at one point. I don't know if it's still an Airbnb, but I did see a video there a couple of years ago, shortly after filming of season 4 was up. And, so yeah, all those are in the clear. And then obviously we have the Creel house. That one is owned by somebody. It's not going to be demolished or anything. That one's pretty legendary. That's another one I didn't get to see because Rome, Georgia is like an hour or two from Atlanta, so I didn't have time to go there and see that. If you see me looking down, I have my phone of everything I'm talking about, a list of all the locations and stuff. Next up, we have downtown Hawkins, which all of downtown Hawkins in the show is actually a real small town outside of Atlanta. It's called Jackson, Georgia. That area is actually one of the coolest because it looks exactly like it does in the show. It's literally the real downtown Hawkins, Indiana, but in reality it's downtown Jackson, Georgia. But it looks exactly how it does in the show, and it's really cool, especially that fight scene area and all that. That one was awesome. I enjoyed looking around there. Next up is everybody's houses in the show. The Wheeler house, the Sinclair house, the Henderson house where Dustin lives. And the areas where everybody lives, those are real houses owned by people, and they were only used for exterior shots. All the interior shots were filmed in the studio. So those are really cool to visit because the outside of the houses were actually used in the show. So those are cool. And then the Byers house in Hawkins, which was used in seasons 1 through 3. That one was not used in season 5. That one is actually currently an Airbnb as of right now. I don't know how long it will be, but they have it all decked out just like it in the show. Obviously the interior was shot in a studio, but it looks pretty much exactly the same how they set it up. And all the exterior shots were filmed at the actual house. That was an Airbnb. That would be really fun to stay in. I'm hoping maybe I can do that someday as well. Next up is the Hawkins Community Pool location. That one is actually a real functioning pool in Atlanta, actually right by the film studio. I went there, and when I went in October and filmed that, that one played a pretty big part in just season 3, where Billy was the lifeguard and all that. That one's a really cool location, and it would be perfect to visit in the summer when it's actually open. And then the next up is the cemetery where Billy's grave was and where that whole scene went down. That's a real cemetery. I'm pretty sure people have marked the spot where Max sat and had the whole crazy thing happen. And then after that is the Skull Rock where Eddie's hideout was in season 4. That one's a cool one to visit. I actually didn't get to see that one either, unfortunately, the Skull Rock. I didn't get to see the cemetery either. That's another one I want to knock out when I go back. Another really cool one that was in season 1 only was... actually, it was also in season 4. That is Benny's Burgers. 111 escaped Hawkins' ladder, and then God, I can't remember what his name is. He ended up getting shot when he called up the lad people to come get 11 and stuff like that. That is actually a real restaurant. It's called Tiffany's Kitchen. Looks exactly the same as it does in the show. And then we have the store where 11 got the waffles and broke the door and stuff and walked out with them. That one was pretty funny. That one's a cool one. I also didn't get to visit that one either. There's so many locations. I'm going to try to go through all of them and not make this video like an hour long. And then we have the Brynborn Steelworks where Billy pulled into and got like kind of possessed, and then all those rats went in there, and it was like a hideout spot for the Mind Flayer or something. I don't know, but that's a real place. It's called like the Atlanta Works now or something. I can't remember exactly, but they have a Camaro parked out in front that looks exactly like Billy's, so that's pretty cool. Next is the Pinehurst, however you say it, mental hospital where Robin and Nancy went to visit Victor Creel. The jail cell scene was filmed in a studio, but everything else was filmed at that actual location. It's a real university there in Georgia. That one's pretty cool. Didn't get to see that one either. I got to see a lot of them, a lot of the main ones, but I just didn't have time to see every single one. If you go watch those videos, you'll see all the ones that I saw. I'll have the links to the videos of when I went to Georgia and went to a lot of the filming locations all in the description below. I also have a playlist of all of them too, so just search the channel or just go to the description and watch all those because they were awesome. Speaking of that, we'll go ahead and move on to the season 5 locations that aren't going to be demolished. And we'll start off with the church one that was briefly shown in season 4, like at the end. I guess the church is going to play a big role in season 5 as well. They filmed a lot there. They were actually actively filming when I visited. I went to the set while they were filming. I didn't get to see much, unfortunately. That was one that was pretty covered up, and there really just wasn't much to see. I snuck around as much as I could, but I got some pretty good shots of it, so that's a cool video. Next up, we have the farm set filming location for season 5. That's a real farm that they used for filming. And then there was also a junkyard set. I don't know much about that one, but I know where the spot is. I didn't get to see it, but I know like the area where they filmed it. Okay, next up, this is a big one right here. So this actually kind of gives away a major spoiler of how season 5 ends. So if you don't want to hear that, make sure you skip past this part. So evidently there's a movie theater in Atlanta that Caleb and Sadie Sink were caught filming at, Max and Lucas in the show, obviously. This was towards the end of production. They were seen filming scenes at this movie theater in Atlanta. So obviously that kind of only means one thing, and that would be that Max would survive, and they ended up going to that movie at the end of season 5 like they had planned on doing before Max got all possessed and stuff by Vecna in season 4. So that is a major spoiler. I obviously cannot confirm 100% that that is actually accurate, but I did hear that they were seen filming at a movie theater towards the end of production last year, so that's pretty cool. I'll be sure to check that one out if I go back, because that's a real theater there. Oh, and I forgot to mention some other locations as well from the earlier seasons. The quarry where 11 saved Mike from jumping off that cliff after Troy and the other dude's name that was bullying them and stuff told him to jump. And I think Will's fake body was discovered there. Then we have Hopper's Cabin. That one's really cool, I've heard. The actual Hopper's Cabin is located at a property that was also used as that pumpkin patch for season 2. and they film all of the exterior shots outside of the cabin, and I think some interior shots too in season 4. I don't know, but they have it set up where it looks literally identical as it does in the show, and somebody owns that, and you can pay like, I think it's like $20 or something to go have a tour of it. I unfortunately did not get to do that either, but that's something I'll probably knock out next time I go for sure. The Hawkins police station is another one that doesn't look like it does in the show, but I know where the building is, and I don't think that one's going to be torn down or anything. And I think that's mostly all of the like main locations that everybody knows about. I'm sure I left a few out, and if I did, let me know in the comments. But yeah, that kind of sums it up for the filming locations that have been or will be demolished, and all the ones that won't be demolished that you can still visit and will be able to visit for a long time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's any questions or any other types of videos you'd like to see, please comment down below. And thank you guys for watching.